We all know that FC25 comes out on many different platforms, but not all the platforms are created equal. You've got your next-gen platforms like an Xbox Series X and S and a PS5, PC as well. And then you've got the older-gen platforms like a PS4, Xbox One, and then there's also a Switch version, which is a little bit different again. Today we're going to take a look at the next-gen exclusive features. These are the features you can get only on next-gen platforms like a PS5 or PC or Xbox Series X and S. And we'll just see what differences there are between the old-gen and the new-gen. If you do enjoy the video, please leave a like for me and make sure you subscribe for more FC25 videos. One thing that is pretty much exclusive to next gen is the pre-match hype packages or cutscenes. These go for about a minute and they're basically like a preview to the match. You'll hear the commentator talking. You'll also see the players and the manager walking around behind the scenes in the tunnels or locker rooms. You might even see cutscenes of the crowd as well. They might feature or profile a player. You might even see stadium shots as well in the background. It's been in the game for a while now, so I'm sure you've seen it many times. If you load up a match on the old gen version of the game, you'll just see like a loading screen and then it brings you straight into the pre-match cutscene where it goes through the lineups and all that. You don't get the hype package, which plays for about a minute before the game. Take a look at some of these examples here.
It is a derby here in Manchester that seems to get more significant with each passing year. Certainly two gargantuan football clubs. Stay tuned and we'll bring you all the action live from Old Trafford as Manchester United. An occasion of pure, raw derby passion. This is the North London derby. Tottenham and Arsenal, they don't like each other very much, but that's all part of the charm of this fixture. This is EA TV.
Another thing that's exclusive to next-gen platforms is the highlighter replay system now. This is a new interface and you can see you've got instant replay, match recap and some highlights as well. If we go to instant replay, you still have your rewind feature on the left, but you've also got this new creator tools feature, which lets you edit your timelines. You can change the camera angles as well. You can change the speed of the clip as well. You can apply filters to the thing as well. So this is obviously for those people that like to create content or clips. I haven't really played around with this too much. It's not really necessary for me. Then you have your standard, instant replay that we have on old gen platforms as well, where you can target different players. You can move around the field, change the camera angles as well. It's not really a big thing because it's just replays, but the next gen platforms do have more features here. Something that's a little bit different on the next gen platforms is the matchday menu cutscenes. So you have the same layout on the left, the quit match, the restart options, all those things are the same. But it's the things on the right or in the background which are a little bit different, because on the next gen version you have different cutscenes. You'll see your commentators, you'll also see players getting interviewed after the match, you might see the players walking around behind the scenes in the tunnels or the locker rooms, post-match interviews with a manager there. When you pause the game at any time you can see the main highlights playing as the cutscenes in the menu. And then at halftime you'll see the players walking back to their change room there, and you'll also see some highlights of players warming up and also players getting spoken to in the locker room by the manager. You might see, photographers talking with the sideline reporters or journalists. On the old gen version, if you pause the game, you do not get any of these special cutscenes that play in the background. Pretty much all you get is like stadium shots. It's not a big thing, but I guess on next gen it does look a little bit better. Next up we have a feature called Big Goal Moments. These are special cutscenes that play after a goal has been scored. It doesn't happen for every goal. It does happen though if it's a last minute winner, or if it's a goal that happens 5 minutes before the end of the match, or a goal that happens in extra time. You get special cutscenes with the manager running over, the players running over, even some crowd members jumping over the ad boards to join in with the celebration. Some players will also have their own signature celebrations during these Big Goal Moments cutscenes. I think there's players like Haaland, maybe Ronaldo, Salah. You'll notice them if you score goals with those players. Next up is a special post-match Guardiola celebration cutscene. If you manage to win matches with Manchester City in the game, you'll notice after home games, I'm not sure about away games, that Guardiola has a special celebration with his players and with the fans as well. Klopp used to have one as well, but then Klopp obviously left Liverpool, so Klopp's not in the game at the moment. But Guardiola's one is still there.
And the 3 points go to Manchester City.
Well done. What a good finish to the game that was. They just wore down the opposition and in the end they got their reward. That's a really good win for them.
Next up is hypermotion goal replays. There's a lot of hypermotion replays that we're going to take a look at in this series, but the first one is the goal replays. When you score a goal like a power shot in the game, or maybe a special goal like a bicycle kick or something like that, you might notice that the hypermotion goal replay plays instead of a normal standard replay. The difference here is that you're going to see stats come up on the replay, things like player speed and also power shot stats, expected goal stats, and also ball speed stats will come up as overlays during the replay, which I guess is nice to look at. Is it completely necessary? Not really. Now, there's special camera angles only available on the next gen platforms of FC25. Let's take a look at them. So let's go to settings. The first one is the tactical camera. That was the one we were using at the start of this clip. And obviously the main benefits with the tactical cam is that for the most part, it does zoom out a lot, which means you see a lot of the field, and that could help you, look at your players tactically, see where they are in terms of positioning. You just basically get more of the field. One of the downsides to this camera angle is that if you're playing far away from the monitor or TV, then it's going to be harder to see because you don't get that zoom in that other camera angles have, which might make it harder to see if you're playing from a further distance. But for the most part, if you're playing close to a screen or TV, this is the camera angle to use because you see the whole field pretty much, and you get to see the players in formation moving up and down the field. I believe you can customize the camera settings if you go into settings, so you can get a bit more zoom if you want to. The second camera angle that is exclusive to next gen is EA Sports Game Cam. This is very similar to the tactical one, but I think it's a little bit more zoomed in, so the camera does move around more as you go left to right on the field. If you play on the old gen consoles, this is what the camera angle will look like. You're going to be playing on the legacy camera angle. There's no tactical, there's no EA game cam. And as you can see, things are much closer, more lower to the ground as well. Some people actually like this camera angle. It's not a bad camera angle by any means. Next up is a ref cam. This is basically when a foul has occurred. If there's a red card or a yellow card, you might see this POV camera where the ref goes over to the player and you can see a first person look at the scene and how the ref dishes out the card to the player. Sometimes you'll see them put the spray on the floor as well. Is it a big thing? Is it a necessary thing? Not really, but it doesn't happen all the time. There's also another POV camera. This time it's for the substitutions. So you'll get the substitutions cutscene that plays, but then it will switch to a hypermotion POV camera where you can see the player coming off the field and shaking hands with the manager and walking to the bench or something like that. Or you could even see a player running onto the field with the POV camera as well. This is not something I enjoy. It happens way too frequently. I don't think a POV camera is necessary when a player is running onto the field or coming off the field. It doesn't really enhance the presentation in my opinion. Thank you to the Vapex FC members for your support. If you want your name featured here, just sign up using the link in the description. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like for me, make sure you subscribe for more episodes, and hit the thumbnail in the middle to watch another FC25 video.